One of the things that I love about One Rental at a Time and the audience is actually the fact that the millionaires that we bring on care. And I say that because they are taking extra time to write newsletters and essays. For example, Coach Carson just wrote about how to not worry about money. It was a great read. Well, he'll tell you where you can find it. But Coach, where do you get the inspiration for these detailed and important conversations?
Actually, I have just a little note card in my planner. I carry it around with me all the time. And I
That's
heard one time,
awesome.
yeah, just this ideas float by. I'm like, all right, grab this idea, put this thing
Write
down.
it
And
down.
there's a bunch of junk ideas too on there. So it's like probably a 10% hit rate, but just you gotta
No, but
grab them all.
I think that's wise advice because, like you, right, you just never know where inspiration comes. And the fact that you
Yeah.
have this thing you can reach to, write it down, it's simple genius, frankly. I'm going to adopt that as well because I
There's
always
a
tell
note card.
myself,
There it is right
yes,
there.
see, that's genius. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start carrying a note card. So, but let's talk
Simple.
about it. How to
Yeah.
not worry about money. It's an important topic.
Yeah, the reason it came up, both for myself, I had some worry and some anxiety a few weeks ago, and then I've also noticed it's just kind of a weird thing that you would talk to people who have multimillionaires, lots of money, and they were still anxious about money, about the world, and part of that is just we're human beings. I think we're just built to be anxious and nervous. But
Yeah.
I kind of got philosophical about it. So why is that? Like, why
Well,
is that?
sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah, go for it.
I want to let you know that I had this exact conversation with Graham Stephan. And
Ah,
Graham Stephan has said repeatedly, both in private and on video, I interviewed him, and we're going to do it again. He has this concern. I mean, think about Graham Stephan, right? 4 million subs,
nothing to worry about with
whatever.
money. Plenty of money.
No, plenty of money, more money than It's just, to your point, even the multimillionaires, even the folks that are multimillionaires, likely making millions a year, still have these money concerns. So you're onto something. Go ahead.
All right, so we have Graham Stephan as an example. Me from time to time. I'm sure everybody who's got money has experienced this. Why is that? So it's not just the bank account and it's not just the assets. Those things help, and that's what we're trying to do. There's got to be something else because I also know people who have a lot less money than that who are free as a bird. Like they are not anxious. They're like confident. They're
Me too.
laughing. So it's all right. So some of this might be built in, but I think there's something there though that we can work on. And I wrote the article. There's actually a poem by Victor Hugo who wrote Les Mis, the play Mis. And it was, I'll kind of butcher this, but it was something like, be like the bird that pausing in flight on boughs too slight still sings, knowing she hath wings. So there's a interpretation for modern here. There's a little bird sitting on a branch, and that branch is like way too small for this bird. It's kind of swaying, it's about to fall, but this little bird is still singing because it knows it can fly. Like it's got wings. And so to me, that was like, okay, that's pretty powerful. I read that in a book, that idea that you have the capability in addition to these assets you have. Like if you were able to build those assets, if you're able to do that, you have not only skills that you could use. So I like to inventory. What are some skills I could have as a backup plan? Like if everything hits the fan, I inventory all these real estate skills I have. I've done title searches. I could be a paralegal. I could be a bookkeeper. I could be a real estate agent. I could be a project manager. I could go dig ditches if I had to, whatever, like there are things you could do to make money. And all right, that alleviates the anxiety a little bit. All right. Worst case scenario. But even beyond that, beyond those practical skills, there's just this idea, and this is a mindset that great athletes have, that great leaders have, that people who excel in music and all sorts of things, they have this idea that when things get hard, it's not like poor me, the world's falling, cry. It's like no. Like this is what I signed up for. Like I'm Michael Jordan. I signed up to be in the NBA and be a world champion because things are going to be hard, and because the other team just hit a shot with 3 seconds left. It's supposed to be hard. Like I'm going to hit the shot because I can do this. And so I think that was the thing that really it got to me. Like that little bird that's singing knows that it has what it takes, and so you got to cultivate that. Like you got to remind yourself that I got this,
Yeah.
and that a challenge. You and I both work out with weights, Michael, right? It would be kind of ridiculous to go lift styrofoam weights and get in the weight room.
Yeah.
You didn't sign up to lift styrofoam weights. You as an entrepreneur signed up. You and I, we signed up to have freedom and flexibility. And
Yeah.
the thing that goes with freedom and flexibility are problems that come up, and we got
Yeah.
to deal. We got to deal with them.
It's really wild to have this conversation with somebody like yourself, because again, I look at you, Chad, and I see entrepreneur. I look at myself and think employee, right, wrong, and different. And I think there's something to that, right? The employee mindset, we have agreed to sign up. I had this conversation with Ryan Pineda, right? We agree to sign up to, take off little slivers of our life called hours in return for some fixed amount of money. The entrepreneur doesn't do that, right? They're basically out there looking for people or processes where they can take their little slivers of time and maximize the return. There really is something, I think, between a W-2 employee and an entrepreneur's mindset. I think the entrepreneur, like you said, you have to build up that DNA, that rigor, that discipline, that evidence that Alex Hormozy talks about all the time, that you can turn an idea into dollars, right?
Yeah.
I talked to you, I talked to Brian Adamson, plenty of other millionaires on this channel who are naturally born and gifted entrepreneurs. But there's a lot of us out there that have a scarcity mindset. Our only income is our job. And frankly, if your only income is your job, you probably should have a little bit of apprehension, because, there will be recessions. There will be business cycles. Your job is not guaranteed. And, we've got to be able to spread our risks or be that bird on a branch. And I think a W-2 employee that's just a W-2 employee, has no other alternatives, is pretty risky. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's really what it is. Like, our whole financial industry is built around build this big nest egg, and then you retire and you live off your nest egg. And I think that's a great base. That's a great starting point. But if you just do that, you're going to be terrified your whole life. You're going to be sitting there worried. You're going to be either going to be terrified or dependent, on a pension or something else. And so, to me, it's not just a nice to have thing. Like, this is an imperative. Like, if you actually want to have wings to be able to control your own destiny, you have to have side hustles. You have to have skills. You have to have relationships. Like, to me, that's what the network, the One Rental at a Time network, the Rental Property Mastery network that I do, like, networks of people. Even if you feel like I'm a W-2 employee and I have that anxiety, like, the proof is in the pudding. Like, the proof is in the community. Like, there's people around you doing it every single day. And sometimes you can, we human beings are we're social animals. We gain confidence from other people, from the people in our sphere. So whatever you got to do, you got to hack it. But you got to work on this, because this anxiety is not going to go away because you have $1 million in the bank account. It's not. It's going to still be there.
I go back to being 30 years old, losing 80% of my wealth in the stock market crash, and then turning to real estate. What was my big vision, my big goal? I wanted to continue to save in my 401k. I wanted to work till I was 65. I wanted to have a 7-figure 401k, and I was going to have 4 free and clear rental properties. Why? Because it gave me options.
Yeah.
It gave me a better future. So if you're just a W-2 employee banking on 401k, hallelujah, I was you. Do yourself a favor. Buy 1 rental property every other year for 8 years. Buy 1 every year for 4 years. Just give yourself a plan B. Worst case, 10, 12 years later, you get laid off, you sell the rental if you need to raise cash. That's the beauty of having an asset that somebody else is paying for.
Yep.
That it could become almost like a piggy bank. Ryan Pineda talks about when he was losing $1 million in his business, he went to his piggy bank and sold off a couple of rental properties just to eat. Again, if you're a W-2 employee, don't just bank on your job. We will have recessions. AI will be disruptive. You need to have additional security. And that's why I love the Small and Mighty Investor. You talk about it in the book. Just get to 4. There's nothing wrong with 4.
Yep. And the thing you're going to build behind the scenes that I didn't realize is not only are you going to build those assets of those properties, you're going to build the skill set and the confidence that you can do it again and again and again. I know people in their 70s and 80s still wheeling and dealing, right? I mean, so
absolutely.
So that you don't have to stop this thing. Like, you can keep going because you have the number one asset. I really believe this, not just like funny talk here. Like, I believe your mindset and your ability and your skills and your knowledge and your relationships, that's the number one asset. The $1 million in the bank is just a product of you applying that stuff, 2 or 3 years ago. Like, your mind is super, super valuable, and you build it. The 4 rentals you build, you've built a ton of wealth up here as well.
No, absolutely. One of the things that I was asked the other day, um, I actually said this on my daily financial news, and I was asked about it later, is if if you're not sleeping well because of money, like you're waking up at night or you're stressed at night, you can't fall asleep, that's a signal that you need to be doing something different,
Yeah.
right? And you need to pay attention to that because it's not going to get better. If you're being disrupted because of money and not sleeping well, that's a problem that's only going to get bigger. I would take that as a huge wake-up call.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Pay off debt, buy a rental, do something. There's plenty of things to do, but I agree.
Yeah.
And because ultimately at the end of the day, like I think the point of this whole conversation is if we're not happy and content and have some peace of mind, like what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
why are we doing this? And so I think it's worth exploring, and we're all individuals. We have unique, situations we're all in, but ultimately, like, shouldn't it be having a little bit of peace of mind and being able to sleep well at night is part of the goal? I think so.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you brought up network. That is the answer. That's something I didn't really appreciate for the first 5 of my 25 years of investing. It's why I have the school community at simply $20 a month, 67 pennies a day. We've got over 350 people in there that are going the same direction, helping people, asking questions, posting wins, posting losses, because we all want to do the same thing. And if you can find a community out there, go find that community, whatever it is you want to do, stocks, crypto, real estate, build to rent, room to rent, whatever you want to do, go find that community, get around other people doing it, and life will change. Coach, you have a newsletter. Tell us about it.
Yeah, every Tuesday I send an email out with what's going on behind the scenes with me, share my newest podcast episode. Just the best way to stay in touch with me. You can drop me an email as well. So coachcarson.com/newsletter. And of course, if you're here on YouTube, I'd love to connect with you there as well. I have the Coach Carson YouTube channel. So check it out and would love to hear from you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Mike.